All right, so today we are going deep on something pretty interesting and kind of unsettling too, honestly.
Yeah.
We're looking at AI training data and copyright.
Ooh, yeah.
We found this really good article in the Register. It's all about a recent hearing in the UK Parliament on this very topic. And let me tell you, it got intense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Basically, we're going to figure out, like, who's footing the bill for this whole AI revolution and what it means for the future of, well, creativity in general.
Right.
Here's the crazy thing,
Uh,
okay? Imagine AI just like effortlessly churning out music that sounds exactly like, I don't know, your favorite artist. And
Wow.
that artist doesn't even know it's happening.
Right.
Sounds wild.
Right.
Well, some experts think we're already there.
Hmm.
Yeah. One of the most, I think, compelling voices in this whole debate is composer Max Richter.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. You know him.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, he's the guy behind some really iconic film and TV scores.
Right.
Like, so when he talks about being creative and the value of original work, people listen. Yeah. Richter went before Parliament and just laid it all out.
Mm.
AI models are being trained on massive amounts of copyrighted material, and they're not even asking the creators for permission.
That's something that Richter, I think what's so interesting about his argument is that it goes beyond just like the art. He's bringing in like the economics too. Like the UK music industry, they make about 7.6 billion pounds every year and employ over 200,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
That's a whole ecosystem that could be, really messed up if AI generated music starts taking over.
So you're saying there's a chance that the next, like, top hit might be written by a bot,
Yeah, potentially.
not a person.
It's possible, and it raises these really complex questions. Richter thinks this could lead to like a vanillization of music, where everything just starts sounding the same because the AI is just remixing the stuff that's already out there.
Okay, so if the AI is just feeding off of what already exists, does that
Mhm.
mean we're going to stop seeing, like, really new music?
Right.
Truly innovative music? Like, will AI hold back human creativity instead of pushing it forward?
It's a good question. But some people think that AI could actually help creativity by giving artists new tools and new inspiration.
Oh, interesting. So there's this tension between AI, like, crushing originality and AI actually making new kinds of creativity.
Exactly. And right in that tension, we have James Smith, who's working at Google. And he offers a different point of view on the whole training data issue. He
Yeah.
basically says the data's already out there. Like, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. He calls it the original sin, all that data scraping that happened early on.
So he's saying it's too late to try and control all that data that's already been used to train these models.
Basically, yeah. He thinks instead of trying to, like fix the past, we should figure out ways to pay creators for their work.
Okay.
He thinks the future is in making fair licensing agreements.
So instead of stopping the AI revelation, we figure out how to pay the artists
Right.
whose work is being used to make it happen.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But wouldn't it be super hard to keep track of how all this data is being used?
That's the big question. Some say it's just impossible to track how companies use all this training data. Others think that it is possible to be transparent, but the companies just don't want to do it.
So is it a tech problem or is it like an ethics problem?
Maybe both.
Yeah.
But before we go too deep into that, let's talk about another group who are really worried about all of this. The publishers.
Right. It's not just musicians who are affected. The article mentions Matt Rogerson from the Financial Times and Suchita Murali from the Professional Publishers Association. What are their concerns?
Well, they're worried about how much data scraping is happening right now.
Like, just how much?
A study by the Financial Times found over 1,000 bots targeting like 3,000 publisher websites. It's not just, small scale.
So they're basically just grabbing all this content and the
Yeah.
publishers can't stop it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And there's this fear that if publishers try to stop sharing their data, Google and other search engines are going to punish them, and they'll basically disappear from the internet.
So they can either join the AI revolution and lose control of their work or say no and be left behind.
Yeah.
What a choice.
And it gets worse. There's also this worry that even if publishers agree to share their data, they're going to be forced to take less money because, that's just the price of doing business in the AI world.
So either way, they lose.
Yeah.
It feels like the creators, musicians, and publishers are getting the bad end of the deal with this AI thing.
It's a valid concern, and that leads to a really important question. Who's actually in control in this new world?
Yeah, it feels like we're talking about like a power imbalance. You've got these huge tech companies, right? They've got all the money and resources. And on the other side are just like regular creators and small publishers who are trying to protect their work and, just make a living.
Exactly. That's the big issue. And it's not just about money. It's about who's in control and how transparent things are. We've talked about how hard it is for creators to even know how their data is being used. But it goes deeper than that. Even the AI models themselves are like black boxes. We don't really know how they make decisions or create stuff.
So we're just handing everything over to this mystery box and hoping it all works out. Doesn't sound too good to me.
It's definitely a little scary. This lack of transparency makes it almost impossible to come up with fair ways to pay people. How can you put a price on something if you don't even know how it's being used or how much money it's making?
That's like trying to sell a car without knowing what kind it is or how many miles are on it. You're just supposed to trust the buyers giving you a fair price. No way.
Yeah, it's a big risk, and it shows how much we need clear rules and laws about using data and developing AI.
Okay, but what about that argument that we shouldn't worry too much because AI is just a tool like a hammer or a paintbrush? The stuff it makes belongs to whoever's using it right.
Yeah, people say that a lot, but I think it's oversimplifying things. A hammer doesn't just decide to build a house on its own. It needs a person with ideas and skills to use it. But AI, it's different. These systems can make stuff that feels original and creative, even if it's all based on the data it learned from.
So the tool idea doesn't work because the tool starts doing its own creative thing. And that brings us back to that main problem we keep running into. We've got this amazing technology that could change everything. But then there are these worries about fairness ownership, the future of human creativity.
It's the classic problem of progress versus responsibility. And like most tough problems, there's no easy answer. But I think the first step is admitting how complicated it all is and having honest conversations about it.
Which is what we're doing right now. We're digging into these tough questions, trying to understand this crazy new world. But it's not all bad news, is it? AI could unlock all kinds of creative potential, maybe even solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Oh, absolutely. AI could do a lot of good in the world. But to use it responsibly, we have to deal with these ethical and legal issues head on.
We need to find a way for creators, tech companies, and everyone else to benefit from this technology without anyone getting hurt in the process. That's a tall order.
It is, but I think we can do it if we focus on transparency, fairness, and building tech that puts people first.
It sounds like we're in uncharted territory. We don't have all the answers, but at least we have our values and morals to guide us.
Exactly. And those values will be super important as we keep exploring this new world. The choices we make now will decide what happens for generations to come.
So let's take a step back for a second. What have we learned? We've got artists who are worried about losing control of their work, publishers who feel like they're being taken advantage of by these big tech companies and legal experts who are trying to figure out how copyright law even applies to all this AI stuff. It's a lot.
It is, but it's important to remember that even with all this uncertainty and tension, there's also this feeling of wonder and excitement about what AI could do.
Yeah, I get that. It's like, yeah, there are a lot of risks, but there's also this incredible potential for new ideas and creativity. It's like watching a tightrope walker. You're scared they might fall, but you're also amazed by their skill and bravery.
That's a great way to put it. It captures that delicate balance we need to find as we move forward.
So where do we go from here? We've talked about the problems, we've explored the issues, and we've seen how high the stakes are. But what are the possible solutions? Who are the key players in this? And most importantly, what can we as individuals do to make sure that creativity can thrive in a world with all this new technology? Yeah, that's the real question, right? What can we actually do to make sure AI helps everyone, not just the big tech companies? It's easy to feel like this is all way over our heads, this is for politicians in Silicon Valley to figure out, and we're just stuck along for the ride.
I think a lot of people feel that way. But it's important to remember that we all have a say in this. We're the consumers. We're citizens, right? We're part of this digital world, whether we like it or not. And that means the choices we make matter.
Okay, but what can we actually do? Where do we even start?
Well, one of the most powerful things we can do is support the creators directly, Buy their music, subscribe to their publications, go see their shows. That puts money directly in their pockets, and it shows them we care about human creativity.
Right, it's like voting with your wallet, yeah.
Exactly. And speaking of choices, we can be more aware of the AI tools and platforms we use every single day. Do they have clear policies about data? Do they pay creators fairly? If not, maybe it's time to switch to something else.
So we could actually make a difference just by being smarter about what we use.
Definitely. And don't underestimate the power of just talking about these issues. Talk to your friends, your family, your coworkers. Write to your representatives and tell them that creators' rights and responsible AI development are important to you. The more people speak up, the more likely things are to change.
It's about, like, using our collective voice to demand a future where technology helps humanity, not the other way around.
Absolutely. And this isn't just about protecting artists and writers. It's about saving something really important about what it means to be human. Our ability to be creative, to innovate, to express ourselves, those are things worth fighting for.
We can't let AI become the only source of new ideas. We can't just let algorithms take over our imaginations.
Exactly. If AI becomes the only way to get new ideas, if we stop valuing human creativity, then we risk losing something really human. The stakes are high.
Wow. So here we are at the end of our deep dive, and I gotta say, I'm left with a lot to think about. It's exciting and a little scary to think about what's coming next.
It is. We're in uncharted territory, but we're all on this journey together.
As we figure out this new world, I keep coming back to this one question. If AI can really learn any style, any genre, any voice, what will it mean to be a human creator in the future? What will make us different from the machines?
That's the question, isn't it? What will make human creativity special and valuable in a world where AI can seemingly do it all?
Maybe it'll be our emotions, you know, our ability to turn our experiences into something meaningful and moving. Or maybe it'll be our ability to think critically, to question things, to challenge how things are.
Those are definitely things that set us apart. Our ability to connect with each other on an emotional level, to tell stories that resonate with everyone. Those are things AI can't do.
Maybe it's our imperfections that make us interesting. Our flaws, our quirks, our unique perspectives. Those are the things that make human creativity so great.
I like that. Even in a world that's more and more controlled by algorithms, there's something special, something you can't replace about being human.
And that's something worth remembering. The future is unknown, but we can choose to be excited about the possibilities while staying true to who we are.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. This has been a great conversation.
And to everyone listening, keep asking questions, keep creating, and keep talking about these things. We're all in this together.